Hi, this is Jamie Grunwell from GoSafety Solutions. This short video is going to explain a little bit about the audits and inspections process and procedure. So if we go into inspection and audits, the main reasons we want to do inspections and audits is we want to make sure that all the processes and systems for health and safety have been followed out on site or in the workplace. And we want to make sure that we're picking up any unsafe behaviours or any systems that aren't being followed that create unsafe behaviours in the workplace. So we've got a little bit of a procedure here, so you can feel free to have a bit of a read through. You've got planned inspections. They're basically inspections that have been planned. You've told the people that you're coming to do the inspection. You've got general site inspections. So that's where you go out onto site or onto the work site and you do those inspections, just general inspection. You've got safe behaviour observations, which are SBOs, which is basically generally going and having a look at a staff member working or some staff member working and seeing if they're doing it safely. And if they're doing it safely, that's great. Go and say, hey, that's really good how I saw you putting the caps on the waratahs there or whatever it is. But if they're not doing it safely, go and have a discussion with them in a training session on how you should be putting caps on the waratahs, coach them to do it and the reasons why you should be doing it. So we've got some checklists here. So this one's here is for just a site. And these can all be changed and added to, and some sites they might be a lot larger, but it's best to customize it to your situation. And you're basically just going through and saying yes or no. It's always good to write a yes rather than a tick. And it's always good to comment. So floors, yes, floors look great, everything tidy. A comment means somebody's actually taken a little bit of time to do the inspection and do it properly. Okay, so you go through the inspection and then as you get to the bottom, there might be some issues that you found. Put into the comment section what you found and what you reckon should be done about it. It'll go to management. Management will put some more information in it, or it'll go to your health and safety committee and they will basically say, oh, this is what we can do to close out this task so that issue no longer exists. If you do have any issues, make sure they go onto your hazard and risk and events register so you can track how those actions are going, whether you've closed them off or not. Okay, and you've also got here a site inspection form. So this is generally for workers that are working on different sites. You can go through, it's pretty self-explanatory. Whenever I do these types of inspections as well, once you've done them a few times, you're fine. You don't need to look at the form and you can just go and do it naturally on site and have discussions with people. And if you do any safe behaviour observations, you can write it in the bottom here, had a discussion with such and such about caps on waratahs, a coaching session, and you can even get them to initial it. They're part of that. So you're closing the loop. And again, if you've got any actions at the end of it, say you went and there was no first aid kit, you could put no first aid kit. Make sure that goes onto your hazard, risk and events register so you can close those actions out. Make sure that they get done. Because what generally happens is the form gets filled out, it'll go to management, management will have a look at it. They'll go, oh, it needs a first aid kit, and then they'll put it in the file, and before you know it, the first aid kit's even forgotten about. So if it goes onto that events register, then it gets picked up every time you have a toolbox meeting where you're talking about that. And also, if you've got a health and safety committee, you'll get picked up there. Hey, we still need to get a first aid kit for such and such. Okay, it's always good to give the site a rating, very good, professional attitude, satisfactory, poor. And again, yes and no's, but make sure you put some comments in, even if they're yeses, they're good comments. Remember, it's always good to hear good feedback. It's quite often more powerful than the bad feedback, because generally people are doing the right thing quite well. 99% of the time, you're just on site, and sometimes you'll pick up on some things that need addressing, or you can see that they can do better. Okay, you'd think inspections should be done at least once a month on every site, but feel free to do it more. And you can stick it into your performance review process for a manager that they're to do one site inspection a month or 2 site inspections a month. Okay, if you've got any questions about audits and inspections, feel free to get in contact with me at GoSafety Solutions. Cheers.